Good afternoon, Excellency and Jumriep Sur. My name is Chandy Mao, the product manager at InSTEDD iLab Southeast Asia. So I will do it very quick for this session because I only have 5 tips. But before I go to that, just want to have a shout out to InSTEDD what we are doing. So InSTEDD is basically the NGO based in Phnom Penh. We work on technology, so we developing technology ranging from mobile application, website, Facebook chatbot, the interactive work response. And we've been working with a lot with the Ministry of Education as well, and also the Ministry of Health, mainly the project of the 115 that you might have heard, the COVID hotline. So this is something that we've been developing, and during the year, we've been seeing a lot about how we develop, and especially the content in the digital format. And I think it's very good time for us to share to you. Mainly the 5 tips is mainly the 5 experience that we've been so far. And I think for educator, for the teacher that who are listening, feel free to use this tip. For the excellency who manage the department, feel free to use this and apply to your department. And also for student and for researcher and everyone on, and especially the content developer, feel free to use it for your next work or research. It's been really great. And my job as the product manager is mainly, I think it's easy to say, to make sure what we develop is usable, meaning it's be able to understand if we develop the content. It means it be able to use by the user as well. So let's start with the first 2 questions that I think we should talk right now. Make sure that we're on the same page. So what is digital content? So the digital content is basically everything that you see on your smartphone screen, starting from the voice, starting from the text, starting from the infographic, picture, image, or the voice plus the picture that we call the video. So those are all the things are the digital content. But the big question is, what type of content that you will be developed, and how could you decide that? I think that is very important for us at the stage right now. Some people prefer video, some people prefer voice, some people prefer music. But how could we decide that? How could we make the right decision, the decision for that? And when, and then the word, what is better? So better to us, it means we make something that is usable. One is usable, but the second thing is accessible. I saw a lot of people make something that's great, but not accessible to the people that need it. For example, one example in the project, there's people making the content of the for the farmer in the agriculture, and they do it on the website. So when we look at that, the content is great, but farmer can access the website, right? So this is the quick example that I can give you right now. So my session will be make sure that you develop something that is useful and also be able to access to your target groups, okay? So everything here is about the user. At InSTEDD, we apply our core value is the human-centered design method. It's the process of thinking that make sure what we do, we put the user in the center and make sure they are the one who receive the most benefit of what we are doing. If we're making the digital content, if we're making the video, make sure the video that we do, when they listen, they understand, they know what it is, they know what to do next. If it's a website, the website that is understandable. If it's an app that people be able to use, or be able to click step to step and so on. So yes, it is about the understand the user. So another question will be, what are we going to understand about the user, right? So there's a lot of things in one user, but what type of thing that we need to understand to make a first step or to make a move? So one thing is we need to understand the problem, right? The problem with the user is very important. It is what we start. We call in our work, we call the pain point. This is what we start. And when we talk about the problem, we don't talk about technology. We don't talk about digital. Purely their problem. What are they facing? What are they challenging? In this picture, just to let you know, this picture is mainly not when the pandemic, that's why we don't have much, but yes, this is the understand the problem. We talk to, one example, we talk to small SME, they have the problem of getting more customer, right? So we don't try to talk with them like Facebook or YouTube or anything, just what are they are facing, what are they are challenging, and then we take all of those problem and look what are the best solution for them, what are the best take for them. Then when we have the problem, the second important thing that you need to understand to the people that you are talking is how they access to the content, right? For it's something like what are they doing to receive the information from day-to-day life. We talked to SME in the Kampong Speu, and surprisingly, most of the time in her free time, she access the content by watching the pre-record live video on YouTube, right? So what does it tell us? What does this information tell us? It tells us that the way that they receive information is by video and by the pre-record live with the people who popular with the skincare, trending skincare. And she talked about her life and she just sit there listening for hours. So when you look at that, you can see, right? So then when we ask ourselves back, what are the best content that we should fit to those group of people? It must be the video. It must be the video in Khmer and the video that talk something that she feel relevant, right? And where we want to put it, where we want to put that video, is on YouTube. This is where they access. This is how their phone installed when they go to the phone store. So this is some sort of thing that we need to make sure the video or thing that content that we make and accessible is when we put on somewhere that they can access, or the app that already have in her phone, something like that. So there's some kind of thought that need to be in mind during your development of the content. And the third tip is, I think it's also the most important one, is the using their language. By using their language, it doesn't mean Khmer or English. When we use Khmer, what level of Khmer that they are using, right? So we don't use official Khmer language, like the formal Khmer language, to the farmer, right? They're not going to understand well. Use what they are speaking daily, the word that they are using daily. In your video or in your text or in your photo, whatever your type of content is, but use the same language as they are using. This will help them, one, engage them to listening more because they understand, they have purpose to really continue seeing your content. And second thing is they feel relevant. They feel relevant with your content, and that will help them engage and will help them reach out or watch more of your content. And the more they do, the deeper or the better they will understand your content. And that is how the right content work. So to the fourth tip is, this is the fun one to me actually. It is when we test with them, right? For example, like when we make one content called a video or so on. So when you develop that, when you gather all the insight and you develop one prototype video to test with them, meaning to let them use it. By meaning let them use it, you don't need to explain anything. Just hand them the phone or anything that can play the video and let them listen, let them see that video. And what you do is you don't say a word, you just observe their understanding. What are they doing? Do they have any frustration? Does any word doesn't make any sense to them? Do they understand the whole context? More importantly, do they understand what we meant the video to be, right? So this kind of thing, let them experience and ask them back. Ask them to tell us back what they think, what they get. Try to observe that over time. And when you test with them, also one sub-tip, meaning don't go for quantity, go for quality. Normally we test like 4 to 5 people a day or two. We don't go for 50 or 100 people because the quality of test is important rather than the quantity of people. Make sure you have deep conversation with them. Make sure you have deep connection with them rather than just big amount of people that we cannot really see clearly what they feel and what they facing and so on. And then the last but not least is the apply, right? So when we design the prototype, we test them, then we got insight, right? We got from our observation, from our understanding, we can see what could be changed and what could be make it better, right? The hard part is to apply, because when we to apply, this is where the big change happen. When we see the problem, we need to have like some kind of ambition to apply that to make it better, and that needs a lot of pitching among the team and needs a lot of consultation, a lot of things, because when things change, scope change, right? So that is for me and for I see it's a very hard part, but this is also doable. It's very doable. It's all depend on how much you know that if you apply that change and will affect or will make your content better. And then test again. Apply one time and come back and test again. And test again and again. And how many times should it be completed? I don't have the answer. It depends on when they respond, when you take the prototype to test and they respond. Are they clearly understand what the prototype is? Are they really understand your video, or are they really understand your application and so on? So it all depends all of that. And then repeat. Do that again and again. Until the end, you have something that is, again, usable and accessible to the user. And that make it a great content and make it the right content for your specific group of users.